So nice to see all of you. I know things are a little strange right now, and it looks like we're gonna have to keep the studio closed longer than I anticipated. So I'm going to start to make these yoga videos for you guys. I'm gonna try and get one out a week to you, and hopefully that way we can all stay connected and keeping our backs healthy, keeping our minds healthy. So today I'm going to keep things simple. I know a lot of you don't have a lot of equipment at home, so we're just going to be using our mat today, 2 yoga blocks and a strap. If you do not have blocks or straps at home, you can certainly use a couple of books. Just make sure that they are of equal thickness, and hardcover tends to be a little bit better. You can also use a towel, just a nice long bath towel. That works well. You could use a belt, anything that you could find that could be used as a strap. So today's focus in class, we're going to work the hips, hip flexors. Certainly we're going to do a nice routine using the blocks as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I apologize at first if it's a little wonky on the way. This is my first go round with this, so cut me some slack, but we'll get through class today. So here we go. Let's have you start with your hips nice and wide, feet nice and wide, a little wider than those hips. I'm going to start with a nice big breath. Inhale all the way up, and then just take it down, just nice and slow on the exhale. Inhale it up, take it nice and slow on the exhale. One more of those, just a nice inhale it up, take it down on the exhale, and then you're just going to close your eyes, roll those shoulders back, take your hands down and out into your mountain pose. Try to leave your eyes closed here for a moment, take some nice deep breaths, inhale and exhale. Take that breath again. Sweep those arms back up to the sky. This time you're going to open just halfway. You're going to lift and open. You're going to lift and open. You're going to lift and open. This time you're going to lift. You're going to stay at the top. Bring those hands together. Reverse those palms and just take a nice long stretch of that spine, standing salute pose. Try not to strain through that upper back, nice and relaxed. Keep the chin lifted. Take some nice deep breaths here, opening your shoulders. Arms are going to release down out in front of you. Take a little press out towards me. Round through the upper back as you sink your head right between your shoulders. Holding it here, taking some nice deep breaths. Sink back into those heels. Take a nice inhale, release the head first. Follow those arms up to the sky. Stretch and lengthen that spine. Release those hands out again, just halfway. This time you're going to sweep the arms back and just release the chest. Hold, breathe, close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale, float the arms back down by your side, come into a nice mountain pose. Both hands are open, soft. Try not to strain through the hands, just keep them nice and soft, shoulders are back. Eyes stay closed for a moment, take some nice deep cleansing breaths. Now take the chin, take it to the chest. As you settle the chin right between the collarbones, take both hands here and give a big nice reach straight down towards that mat. Inhale, pull that head all the way up, stretch and lengthen down the front of that neck. Both hands again, just give that big long reach to the mat. Taking it from here into a flow. Release the chin to the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. You're going to come up. You're going to stay at the top. We're going to work the upper cervicals. Taking it left and right. So you're going to take that left and right side. So side to side here, nice and slow. Make sure that head is back, a little extension, so you're working the upper cervicals, creating that motion through the joints. One more each way. And then take it over to that left side. You're just going to stay here, dropping the ear towards the shoulder, getting a nice long stretch through the side of that neck. Right hand, just going to give a nice big reach to the mat. Drop your shoulder down. Take a deep breath. You're going to lift and take it to the other side. Settle into it. And then if it's good, left shoulder, take it down. Take a breath, release the shoulder first, come up to the center. Chin goes back into that chest. Both hands again, give a big reach to that mat. And now easing the tension in the rest of that neck, starting towards that left side again. You're just going to rock and roll this neck side to side. Try to sweep that head across the front of the chest. Try to reach that chin, shoulder to shoulder. Try not to let your shoulders roll in. Keep them back. One more each way. And then release that head back into your center position. Pick up that head just to neutral. Turn toward your left shoulder. Rotate to the right shoulder. Come back to your left side. Take it back to your right. Take it left. And take it right. Take it left and hold. Now you can stay here just floating this chin above that shoulder. You can go ahead and release. Lay the head back. You're going to stretch down these side neck muscles. Getting a nice full stretch. If it's good, you can take your right shoulder and just gently motion it back just to deepen that release. Watch the fingertips here. If they start to tingle, you know you've gone a little too far. Motion the shoulder back first. Pick up that head. Rotate across to the other side. Settle the chin above the shoulder. Same thing here. You can hold it, or you can lay that head back. Fabulous release. All those neck muscles down the side of the neck, the scalene muscles, the SCM muscle. Big stretch here. Once again, you can motion that shoulder back just ever so slightly. And then just let that shoulder come back forward. Pick up that head, come back into your center. Let's go up and over to the left side. All upper trap here. Right shoulder's going to motion. You're going to pull the shoulder in, draw it back out. Roll the shoulder in, back out. Roll the shoulder in. Take that back shoulder out. You're going to leave your hand back here. And now release the head down. Maintain your angle here, 45 degrees. Elevate a scap muscle. Take a nice breath. Motion the arm back first. Excuse me, head comes up. Hold it here. Take that head up and over to your right side. Settle into it, all upper trap here. Taking that left shoulder, you're going to motion the shoulder in and out. Shoulder comes in and out. Last time in Take that shoulder out, hold it here, make sure the hand stays back, and then release as you come down 45 degrees. Nice big levator scalp stretch. Take a breath, motion the shoulder back first, come up nice and slow with that head. Take a breath, inhale, sweep. Open those arms up, just a little wider than your shoulders, relax your upper back. Take a nice big reach over to that left side. Sweep it back to your right. Come back, left. Come back, right. Take it left. And take it right. Come back up to that ceiling, pull those hands together, come down into a prayer pose. Close your eyes, lift your elbows. Take some nice deep settling breaths here. Everything's just nice and quiet. Breathe through your nose. Inhale and exhale. And then take those hands, drop them back into your mountain pose. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and turn to my side. I know it's a little different than how I normally teach, but that way I figured you guys can see what we're gonna be doing. So at this point, you wanna get your blocks, make sure, or your books, and make sure you have them close by. Also your towel or your strap, which we will be using in a little bit. So I'm going to keep the routine, like I said, pretty simple today. Just really nice back work, some hip work to loosen us up. I know it's tough, we've been sitting around. So here we go, we're going to get started. So start towards the back end of your mat. Take a big breath, inhale it up. Those hands are going to come together at the top. You're going to soften through the knees and just come down into your fold. Take the crown of the head, make sure it's pointing down towards your mat. Feet are together here. Have a nice soft knee. It's better to have the knees bent and be able to draw your chest towards your legs. You can be also up here on your shins, and you can also have a block under the hands too, so whichever is good for you. Make sure that head is down. You want to have no tension in the neck. The neck should be just nice and soft. If you look at me from the side, even if I pull my head up a little bit, I'm causing contraction of the posterior neck muscles. We don't want that to happen. From here in our forward fold, we're going to take a nice big breath. Inhale. We're going to exhale, release the chest to the tops of the legs. Walk our hands to the front of the shins. Step up over the top of the knees. Glue our elbows to the side of the rib cage, and then you're just going to slide back into those heels. Lengthen through your low back. Put that head down so the neck is again neutral. Try not to pull up that head. Gaze down towards your mat. Take a breath, inhale, exhale and release. Drop that crown of the head back to the mat. Soften through the knees. Make sure you are connecting, you are supporting your back to something, whether the block, whether you're up here. Your choice, just make sure that you're not just hanging, that your back is supported. Take the breath, deep inhale. Exhale as the chest comes towards the tops of the legs. Walking the hands to the shins, walking them up above the knees, gluing the elbows to the rib cage, settling our neck into neutral spine. And then ease back into those heels. Gently press the tailbone back to the wall behind you. This time you're just going to pull up the toes. Just gently lift, stretch through the balls of the feet. Toes are going to release. Take yourself back into your forward bend or fold. Make sure you are connecting to something again. Crown of the head is down. Nice and relaxed in your neck and your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, you are breathing. You can close your eyes here. One more time, take that breath. Walk the hands up above the knees. Slide the elbows into the rib cage. Take those hips, press them back to the wall behind you. This time we're going to rock and roll here. Just take those hips side to side. Just gently press back. Stretch through the tops of hamstrings, the glutes. Feel this a little in your tailbone, maybe a little in your low back. One more each way. Come back to your neutral position, down into your fold. We're going to reach it out, step it back, open up those feet, matching your hands and your feet are in alignment. Your hands are going forward. Elbows turn outwards. A little press into your little fingers, a little squeeze at the mat here, making sure that you are not bothering your wrists. You want to release the crown of the head down. Gaze back at your toes, or you can close your eyes. Just check the alignment of the feet. You got an ankle that's turned in, maybe. Maybe you've got one turned out. Just make sure that those feet are nice and even. Soften your elbows and soften your knees. So you're not locked, you're soft. Crown of the head is down. No tension in the head, neck, or shoulders. Take a deep breath. We're going to inhale, arch up through that upper back. You're going to exhale, chest through the shoulders. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. Hold and breathe. Stretch through the calves, the backs of the legs. Now come out long into your plank position. Pull your belly up into the center of your back. Think about pressing this mat away from you. Still pushing out into your little fingers, just spreading the shoulder blades on the back. Neck is neutral again, so you're not pulling the head up. You're not dropping your head down. You're long from the tip of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Settle the knees. Lay the feet flat. Up dog. Again, pressing that mat away from you. Releasing your chest. Rolling your shoulders back. Lifting your chin. Pulling the belly into the spine. Take a breath. Collapse through the elbows. Take your chest down. Chaturanga down to your mat. Same thing here. We're going to leave those elbows glued to the rib cage. I like to walk my toes back. Just lengthens out the low back so that you're not bothering your back in this extended position. If you have a back issue, sometimes this position can be bothersome. So if you kind of lengthen out that low back, it makes it a little bit more comfortable for you. Hold here in your baby cobra. Take a deep breath. We are going to lift those hands up off of the mat. Squeeze the shoulder blades. If it's good, pick up the legs. Fire your glute muscles. We're just firing the big postural muscles in the back, the big extensors, glutes, low back. Hold. Release the feet back to the mat. Take your hands down to the mat. Take a nice deep breath. Press through the centers of the palm. Push it up. Walk your hands back. Come into your stack fist child's pose. Close your eyes here. Take some nice deep breaths. Stack fist child's pose. You are back. You're sitting in your heels. My forehead is lightly touching, so I'm not pitching forward or down. Sitting back. Now taking my fist, going to take a little walk or march over to that right edge of my mat and just resettle those fists. This time my left hip is going to push or press just down a little bit towards that mat, creating a little twist. Also a nice little stretch through the low back, the QL muscle, which is a tough muscle to stretch. Also down into that hip. Taking my breath, taking my fists across the top of that mat, coming to that other side, same thing. You're just going to gently settle, drop the hip down towards the mat, this time on my right side. Doesn't have to be big, you don't have to go far, just enough that you feel that little stretch into the hip. Also that low back a little bit, the QL. Take a breath, pick up that head, march those fists to the center, walk out into a tabletop. So come into your mat, take those hands underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Same positioning here as well. I continue to press that mat away from me and kind of roll a little bit out into my little fingers. That way you're not bunched up into the neck area, you're nice and relaxed in your upper back. There's a difference from being here to here. So you want to make sure that the belly stays up, that you're pushing that mat away from you. A little press into those little fingers so your shoulder blades stay nice and open. Holding it here, watching the neck again, stays neutral. So you're not pulling your head up, you want to look down towards your mat, keeping that neck soft and relaxed. So we're going to start with some nice hips and back, getting nice and warmed up, warming up our spine. We're going to take the toes first and tuck them down into that mat. You can give them just a nice little wriggle here, kind of just shake out, wriggle your tailbone like you're wagging your tail. Just a nice way to loosen up the sacrum. Keep wagging. And then just come back, settle those hips down. Keep those toes tucked into your mat. Starting with a nice cat position. Curling the chin into the chest. Come up nice and high. Making sure that you are, again, pressing into your little fingers, pulling the belly into the spine. The chin is tucking into that little opening between your two collarbones there. Hold. Nice and rounded through that upper back. Breathing through the nose. Take a breath, lay your feet flat, come down and through into your cow pose. This time we're going into extension. So you are lifting your chin, you are lifting your tailbone. The motion is coming from your spine, not from bending your elbows. Sweep back up into that cat position, tucking the toes. I have you tuck the toes so you stay centered between your knees and your wrists, so you're not moving backwards. This is putting the elbows at an awkward angle, which stresses the ligaments and tendons in the elbow joint. So you want to make sure that you keep them stacked and neutral. Cow pose. One more through. Go back into your cat, nice and high. Release low, cow pose, extension. Now this time I'm going to have you leave your feet flat. Go up nice and high into that cat, but you're going to drop your hips back onto your heels. Open up the thoracic spine. Big breaths here. Breathe through that nose, nice and deep. It makes a big difference. You want to stretch the upper back, flaring out the ribs, moving the air through the lungs and down into that belly. Release, come up nice and slow, drop your spine into that neutral position. Re-engage the abs, pull that belly back up into your back. Take it into lateral flexion here, so starting towards your left side. Turn and look at your left heel. Switch sides, look at the right heel. Try not to drop your head or chin. We're going to flow this side to side, so you're just going to move through this range of motion, making sure that you press out or bow out through that hip, creating that lateral flexion. This is how a shark swims through the water. They move by lateral flexion. Nice way to stretch out your paraspinal muscles, the muscles that run up and down the side of your back. We're going to take this one more each side. Come back into your center. Lower to your forearms. Make sure those hips go up. Fold those arms. And then just float that head. Come into a nice easy low back release. Weight is back in your tailbone again, so you're not pitching forward and you're not putting a lot of weight on your arms. Knees are hip width apart. And that tailbone is just pressed up to the ceiling. Very gentle, just a nice way to ease tension in the back. Let's take a nice breath, pick up that head, open up those hands, holding it here. We're going to take the knees and just take them out just a little wider to the two edges of your mat. Those hands can be flat, so make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Your hands can be flat or your hands can be side stacked or in fists, whichever is comfortable for you. So again, coming into these hips, starting to loosen these hips up. We're going to take your tailbone and you're just going to motion back towards your heels like you're a gliding chair, and then slide forward. Chin comes between the hands. So forwards and backwards at your own pace. And as you move through this, what we call dynamic stretching, you're just moving through a range of motion. Keeps the connective tissue warm. As you're gliding forwards and backwards, nice and slow. Go to where you're comfortable. Let's go one more each way because it feels so good. Now I'm going to have you go back, and as you come back, I want you to pull back those hands, stack those fists now, and drop down into that stacked fist child's pose. But this time we've got those knees angled out towards the edges of your mat. You've created a little pocket to put your tailbone into. Make sure you're taking some nice deep breaths with each exhale. Just sink that tailbone down just a little deeper. Creates almost like a little traction of your low back, and also that sacrum, that tailbone. A lot of degenerative changes happen in that low back area, so this is a really nice, gentle way to ease some stiffness in that low back. Now you can hold this position here, or if you'd like to advance out this pose, you're just going to take those hands and reach towards the top end of your mat. You can take that forehead all the way down. Take those hands, you can almost kind of like root into the palms a little bit, kind of push back a little bit. Almost creates like you're in a nice full traction here. Feels really good. My forehead is light on the mat, the tip of my nose very light. Breathe. So however you are in your pose, take a breath, just come on up. Slide or pull those knees back in. Come back out into that tabletop position. Make sure those knees are under the hips, hands are under the shoulders, stacked again. So even if you're leaning back a little bit, again, it's putting the elbow joints in a compromised position, and over time that can lead to some tendonitis. People say, you know, I do yoga, but it hurts my wrist or it hurts my elbows. So that's why you need to make sure that you always are in good form, stacked over the top of those wrists. We're going to take these hips side to side, starting with our left side first. So you're just going to push out, a little bit of lateral flexion again, Side to side, stretching through the IT bands this time. As you push out, you want to feel almost a little resistance at the end of your range of motion. Try to keep that head neutral again, just gazing down at your mat. One more each side. And then I'm going to have you take those hips and push out all the way to that left side. Full range of motion, get it all the way to the end. And then you're going to push away, sit back, kind of angle yourself back onto your heel. Hold, drop out through that hip. Breathe, take a breath, release, come back up into your tabletop. Staying with our left side, you're going to take these hips and circle this time all the way around. Working that range of motion again. You want to take your tush, dust over the top of those heels, come all the way back and around. Inhale, exhale, breathe. One more time, all the way around. Come back up into that neutral position. Pick up your right knee, glue it onto your left knee. Push those hips out to that left side. And again, just kind of settle into your sweet spot. Maybe you need to be back. Maybe you need to be more out to the side. Everyone's different. I kind of like to go back a little bit more here. Take that breath, come on up, separate out those knees again. So we're going to take that again to the other side. So starting towards our right side first, lateral flexion. So that side to side, press out into those IT bands. Feel that resistance at the end of your range of motion. One side might be tight, I'm sure. As you guys watch me, you're going to see which side of mine is tighter, always my right side. One more each way. Come back to your right side, push out all the way. And then take it back, drop onto your right heel. Settle into it, kind of let that hip sink over the edge of your mat. Neck stays neutral again. Make sure you're just looking at your mat. Nice big breath, come on up. Make sure those knees are open up underneath your hips, starting towards that right side with a circle. So it's around and all the way up, full range of motion. Since you're doing this at home and no one's watching, really go for it. All the way back, all the way around. Nice big movements here, so good for your joints. One more all the way around, come back, all the way back up. This time you're going to pick up that left knee, pop it on, glue it onto that right knee, excuse me. Drop out the hip all the way to the side. Find that sweet spot again. You can be back a little bit, which for me works. Maybe you need to just be more lateral. Everybody's different. So good, come on up, open up those knees. We are going to start to head on up, taking those toes tucked down into your mat. Go for it again with that tailbone, just a nice wag of the tail. Just a nice movement for the low back, for the sacrum. Come back to rest. You're going to drop your tush back to your heels. Take a nice big stretch into the feet. Plantar fascia release. You know me, feet are everything. Take a nice nice breath. You can just drop your weight down into your left foot. Give a nice stretch. You can take it over to the right side. Same thing, just push out into that little toe, little pinky toe. Move those hips back into your center position. So from here, you are ready to pop up into down dog. So push on up. Set your feet. Make sure the hands are going forward. Turn those elbows outward. Soften knees and elbows. We don't want to lock out those joints. Take a look at the heels again. Make sure one's not folding or folding in or popping out. Make sure you're just in good form. Take a little wriggle on the toes. We're going to walk this dog this morning, so just go ahead and alternate those heel presses. Nice and slow again. Watch the alignment. I talk about this. If you're tending to do one of these numbers, try to straighten it out. Take your time. You can hear my bones click and clap. One more on each side. Come back to those neutral feet. Take a nice big step forward. Bring the toe joints together. Drop your hands either to the mat or you can be up here on your shins. Draw that head down. Make sure you're connecting to something so that you are supporting your back. Close your eyes here. Just take some nice deep breaths. That neck is relaxed. Back of my neck is soft and relaxed. Shoulders. Take some deep breaths. Drop your chest towards your legs. Inhale, exhale, drop the chest towards the tops of the legs. Bring your hands to the front of your shins. Big deep knee bend, press into the feet. Press through your feet all the way up on your spinal roll so you're not using your back muscles. Head is the last thing to surface so that you are not dizzy. Take the shoulders 3 times, just some nice big shoulder rolls. And then on that last time, you're just going to inhale and lift. Exhale it down. Inhale and lift. Exhale it down. Last one, inhale and lift. Exhale it down. Turn those hands down and out into your mountain pose. Just hold it here. Relax your upper back, your neck and your shoulders. Take that breath, inhale it up. This time those hands are going to come together at the top. Reverse those palms this time, that standing salute pose. There's a difference from stretching and lengthening your spine here to being up here. This is going to really tighten up that back. You want to drop your shoulder blades down. You want to be standing nice and tall. Belly is pulled into your spine. Take a breath as you turn or reach over to your left side. So you want to stretch through the top of the IT band. Inhale, lift, take it up and over to the right side. Stretch and release through the top of the IT band. Come back up to that sky. This time you're going to pull those hands down so they are level with your chin. Tip over to that left side and extend, push out. That is a great release right through the top of the IT band. Come down with those hands, take it up and over, push out. Come back down, take those hands, push back up to the sky, hold at the top, tuck your spine underneath or pull your pelvis underneath your spine, hold. And then you can extend back if it's good, a little bit of extension. Watch the neck here. Come back up to that sky, hold it here. Take those arms now just a little wider than your shoulders. Sweep it back over to that left side. Now take your bottom arm and just drop it down. Hold transverse abdominis muscle. You want to tighten up through the waist. Lift the bottom arm, come up and over the top, take it to the other side. Same thing, you want to lower the bottom arm. You should feel it tighten up right through here. This is the transverse abdominis. Close up that bottom arm, come back up to that sky, hold it here. Both hands again are going to come together. Reverse those palms, take it back to your left side. Now you're going to sweep down and across the front of you and come up and over to that right side and try to bring those hands above your heads. Now you're taking to the obliques, left side obliques. Now you're going to release it down again. You're going to sweep across the front of the body, and as you come up, you're going to take those arms a little bit more over the top of the head. You're going to feel it in the obliques, right side obliques. Beautiful. Sweep those arms all the way back to center. Lift and release them back down. Nice job. Shoulder roll 3 times. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale down. So we're going to take it into our block sequence. So we're going to walk towards the top end of your mat. So books or blocks, either ones, you're going to take a hold. I'm going to start with my left leg. You're going to take a nice step back. So you really want to stretch that leg back behind you. Watch your back foot here. Make sure that you're not torquing this knee. So you can have the foot turned out. You can have the foot more at a slight angle so that you're not bothering your knee. Turn to the front, make sure your front knee is aligned. You don't want the knee falling in. You want to have the shin basically lined up with your second toe. You're going to come down with those blocks. They're going to be underneath your shoulders on their sides. So again, you don't want the blocks out here. You don't want them back here. You want them planted right underneath your shoulders. Back foot is angled outwards. This is to open up the hips and the pelvis. You want that weight even between your front knee and your back foot. Center those hips. So again, you're not shifting forward here and you're not sitting back into your foot. You are even. Dropping the hips down so you're stretching and opening your hip flexor. So from the side, you're not digging into those blocks. You're staying lifted in your chest. Head is up. Take some nice deep breaths. Hold and breathe. Take a nice deep inhale. We are going to push up from here. You're going to angle that back foot. Come up. The blocks can stay on their edges or you can lay them flat. Depends on how flexible you are. So we're going to hinge from the top of the hips. We're going to be in a pyramid here. Making sure again that you're staying in alignment. You're not drifting off to the edge of the mat. Staying in alignment. Blocks can be up on their edges or they can be flat. Position the blocks so that they're staying underneath your shoulders. Now from here, you can drop that chest, bend your elbows. You can release your nose towards that knee. You're in a pyramid pose. Take some nice deep breaths. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Chest can drop a little deeper. Crown of the head can drop a little lower. We're going to take the back foot into a runner's lunge. So as you shift into your lunge position, you can move those blocks up. Make sure they're staying under your shoulders and your foot is between the blocks. Knee is over the ankle, 90 degrees. You are in a runner's lunge. Weight again is even. Your hips are between your front foot and your back foot, so you're not too much forward, you're not too much back. You want to stay right between with the hips centered. We're going to lower the hips towards the mat and release. Lower. Release. You're going to lower. Release. You're going to hold it here. Take your right arm and you're going to reach. Extend. Keep that tush down. Make sure you're not lifting. Stay down. Gaze can go up. Gaze can go off to the side. Just watch your neck. That right hand now is going to reach forward. Nice and long. Now it's going to go all the way back behind you. You're going to follow your hand. Open your hand to the wall behind you. Gaze down the back of your arm. Release. Trace that arc all the way back down. Place your hand on your block. Settle your back knee. Lay your back foot flat to that mat. Those hips are going to come forward, stretching the hip flexors. Inhale, exhale. You're just going to shift your weight back as you stretch the hamstring. Watch the hips don't swing out to the side. You're going sitting straight back. Hands are still on those blocks. Chest lowers towards the top of the leg. Nose can point down towards that knee. Take your flow. So you're going to come forward into your hip flexor. Release into the hamstring. Forwards and back. Forwards and back. Forwards and back. Forwards. Last one, you're going to go back. You're going to hold it here. You're going to take your left hand and just reach across and lay it on top of that right hand. If that's too much, you're just going to stay here. Neck is neutral again. Try not to keep pulling that head up. You want to make sure that you're keeping your neck relaxed. Take a nice breath, release the hand, shift the hips just to a neutral, pull that foot back. We're going to take a child's pose here. Now you can child's pose with your books or blocks. You can be here. You can just push those blocks away and go back to your stacked fists. You can take yourself all the way down, head to the back. So wherever you're good, that's where you child's pose. I like my stacked fists. Feels better for my back, but everyone's different. Take a nice break here. Close your eyes. Deep breaths. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Try to stay nice and still. Take a nice breath. Come out into that tabletop. Open those knees up. You can just push those blocks again up to the top of the mat because we're going to be using those again when we complete the other side. We're going to take this into a nice cat-cow flow. So I'm going to leave these feet flat for this one. Just be aware that you're not moving backwards because again, we talk about compromising these elbow joints. You want to stay over the top of those wrists. So here we go. Just tucking the chin into the chest. Up into your calf. Now from here, at your own pace, You're just going to flow a cat-cow sequence, just nice and slow. Work the range of motion from your spine, not from your arms or shoulders, not from collapsing or sinking into your knees. Think about your spine, those vertebrae, moving as individual segments. Inhale, exhale. Keep going. One more each way. Come back into that neutral spine. And now we're going to take it into that lateral flexion again, starting towards our right heel first. So here we go, side to side. Try to keep your chin and head steady. Do not drop it down. As you're going side to side in lateral flexion, you don't want to be doing one of these numbers. That head stays neutral, it does not move. Like that shark swimming through the water. One more each side. Back into center. Tuck those toes. Scoop those hips back. Come on up into your down dog. Ease back into those heels. Soften your elbows and knees. Give yourself a little wriggle again on the balls of the feet, but this time we're going to elevate, lift, stretch, and open up the balls of the feet. Hold. Release the feet. Pull up and hold. Release. Pull up and hold. Release. Step it forward, one foot at a time. Drop into your forward fold. Release that crown of the head down. No tension in the head, neck, or shoulders. Close your eyes. Think about connecting again to the mat. This time we're going to bring our hands up one at a time. Place them on the small of your back. Fingertips pointing down. Chest is open. Shoulders are back. Bend the knees nice and deep. Now as you come up, continue to push your hands down and into your low back. Drop your shoulders back. Create that traction. Come back into extension. Hold. Stretch out that back. Breathe. Watch your neck here. And release. Come back up to your standing or neutral. Drop your hands back into your mountain pose. Close your eyes. Take some nice deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more, inhale up. Exhale it all the way back down. Step it up to the top end of your mat. Grab those books again, or those blocks. So we're going to repeat that sequence all on that right leg this time. Big long step back. Sink into the knee. Watch the angle of that back knee. Make sure those blocks are underneath your shoulders. So your back foot is not going to be turned all the way out here, because that's going to really torque that knee. Your back foot is turned somewhat to the front of your mat. Make sure those blocks are underneath your shoulders, dropping the pelvis down. Front knee is 90 degrees over that ankle, so you're not shooting your knee over the top of your foot. Shoulders are back and relaxed. Chest is lifted. Kind of open up that chest and drop the hips. Great hip flexor release. Big breaths. Breathe into your pose. Inhale, exhale. Take a nice deep breath. You're going to shift those hips up Now again, you can leave your blocks or books on their side or edges. You can lay them flat, depends on your flexibility level. Just make sure that they are underneath these shoulders. This time that back foot is going to angle out a little bit more. That front knee is going to straighten but not lock, so you don't want it locked out. You want a little softness in that knee. You are in your pyramid pose. Taking the chest, that chest lowers, so the elbows bend a little bit, the chest lowers down, and then that nose can drop towards that knee. Inhale, exhale again, use your breath here, breathe through it. And then take a nice deep breath, inhale, exhale, let that chest come down towards the top of that leg, hold, breathe. You're going to release that chest just a little bit, spin that back foot straight, bring those blocks forward and come into that runner's lunge. So just checking the form again, knees over the ankle. You can see here 90 degrees. Blocks are underneath your shoulders. Back foot and front foot are turned straight. Now you're going to lower that pelvis and release. So imagine it's like an elastic band. You're going to stretch it long and release. One more. You're going to stretch it long and release. You're going to hold it here. Taking your left hand, lift and open. Try not to let your tush lift up. Gaze can go up to that top arm, or you can just look off to the side. Just make sure you're protecting your neck. Breathe as you reach the arm forward. Stay down in the knee. You saw me, I was starting to lift, I was cheating. Now you're going to trace that arm all the way back. You're going to leave that palm nice and wide and open. Look straight down the back of that arm and shoulder. Hold. Take a breath. Follow it. Trace it all the way back down into that nice circle, back to your block, and then drop your back knee. Lay your back foot flat. Allow the pelvis to shift forward, so that way you're taking the hip flexor on the right side, giving it a nice big stretch. Head is up, shoulders are relaxed. Inhale, exhale as you push the hips back into your hip flexor. Watch you're not swinging off to the side. Stay centered. Take it into that flow, so as you come forward into the hip flexor and back into the hamstring. Dynamic stretching, moving through a range of motion. Go at your own pace, just move through hip flexor and hamstring. Let's go one more each way. Now go back into that hamstring and hold. So you're going to stay right here, not swinging off to the side. Hips are going straight back. Chest is lowering towards the top of the leg. You can drop the nose again towards the knee. Now you can be here, or you can bring over that right hand this time and stack it up on top of that left hand. That just makes it a little bit deeper of a stretch. Always your choice, always where you're comfortable. Take a breath, take the hand back, shift the hips just into a neutral position, pull the front foot back. And again, your choice. You can go here, which is a really nice stretch for the upper back. I think I'm going to take it here this time. You can go back to your stacked fist. You can go all the way with the head down into a full extended child pose. It is your choice. Take a nice deep inhale. Come on up, just slow on the exhale. We're going to stay here on our mat, so we're going to turn around, come forward on the mat, and we're going to head down onto our backs. So just have your blocks nearby. This is when I'm going to grab that strap. I'm just going to move my bells up close to my head. So come on down. Hopefully you guys can see me. Good. Down on my back on the mat. So just leave that strap out to the side just for a moment here. And like I always do, fix your clothes once you're down. Let's start with that left knee first. Just bring the left knee up onto the chest and just hold. Gently stretch through that glute, the left glute. Release to the mat and just reach over, kind of scoop over the top of the knee. Draw that right knee into the chest. Release it nice and slow. This time both knees, reach down, gather the knees onto the chest and hold. Take a nice little gentle rock side to side. Allow yourself to come back into your centered position. You're going to bring your left foot down onto the mat. That right knee, you're going to gather and just lift it nice and high into the chest. And then just stretch out that left leg onto your mat. So you're just gently stretching out that hip flexor. Now with that, that knee on your chest, the right knee, you're going to just motion it to the center of your chest. Now that can be enough for you right there, or you can lift just a little higher towards your chin. That is going to give you a great glute stretch and release. Take a breath and then just let that knee come back. Drop the foot to the mat. Bring up your left knee nice and high onto your chest. Stretch out your right leg. You want to anchor that heel, toes are pointing towards the sky. So a nice stretch of the hip flexor to start. Watch your tushes and pushing up. If your tush is leaving the mat, you want to just back off with this knee a little bit. So if your knee is up and you're doing this, you want to just put that knee back so that you stay with your back to the mat. Now taking that knee, your hands are clasped around the top of the knee. You want to motion it to the center of your chest. This could be enough for you. You can also kind of lift it a little bit more up towards your face. That's going to give you a little more of a release in that glute and hip. Try not to let your tush lift. Take a nice breath. Nice job. Just let that foot come back down to the mat. Bring both feet back in. So now I'm going to have you grab your strap or a towel. So the towel works just as well, or a belt, or just something that you can use. We're going to start with that left side because that's the side facing the camera for me. So I'm going to start here first. I'm going to put that on the ball of your foot. I'm going to leave my right knee actually bent with my foot to the mat. You want to start with your foot in neutral position. So you don't want it up here to start. You want to make sure that that hip and leg are in a neutral position, 90 degrees. You're going to hold it here. You're going to hold the strap in your left hand. Take your right hand, just put it down by your side, or you can even angle it out a little bit just so that you're supported. Make sure that right shoulder is kind of laying back. So we're going to start with the adductor, just out to the side. So just a nice adductor stretch. You want to keep the knee soft, okay? So try not to lock out the knee. Your right knee stays pointing to the sky. Take some nice deep breaths. You can close your eyes. Nice big adductor release here. Now, if you like, you can push your foot out into that strap. Push into your heel, your left heel. Now, you're going to feel that probably more down by your knee, where the adductor attaches, especially if you're tight there. Take a breath, lift that leg back up to the sky, hold it here. Now drop the leg back out. Now this time I want you to take your right knee and drop it out. So the right knee is folding out, the left leg is extended out. So you're coming into your pelvic bowl, the groin area here. Tighten up that pelvic floor. You know, we talk about it all the time. Tighten it up, hold. Beautiful. Pull up your knee first, then lift your leg back up towards that sky. You are going to slide your right leg out. Switch over your hands. Now make sure your leg stays 90. Again, you don't want it up here. You're staying above the hip. Now bring it across. That is going to be your piriformis stretch. Hold it. My left knee still stays soft. I don't lock it out. Now we're going to do something a little different here today. I'm going to have you bend your left knee to 90 degrees and then pull it up a little bit towards your chin at that angle. So it starts down here, the knee is bent, pull it up towards your chin. Hold. Now drop the leg back down, straighten that leg back out, bring it back up to the sky. Take one hand each in that strap. This is your starting point. This is 0. You're starting right here. 90 degrees again. Hold. Now just gently pull your foot towards your head. So take it to that initial stretch where you feel you're stretching your hamstring. My knee is not locking. My knee is soft. So hold it there. Release a little tension. Don't go back to 0. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Pull it in again. Go past where you just were. This is our second stretch. Hold. Hold. You're fatiguing the muscle. Your leg may be shaking. That's okay. Release a little tension. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. One last time. You're going to pull it in again. Eccentric, concentric stretching. So you're basically faking out or tricking your muscle fibers. As you fatigue them, it allows you to deepen the stretch each time. And release. Nice job, you guys. You can drop out of that side. We are done with the left leg. So you're going to leave your left foot planted there. You're going to come up with that right. Take it over the ball of the foot. Make sure you start with that hip at 90. Straps are only in your right hand. You can put out that left hand a little bit to support you. Adductor stretch. Out to the side wall. softness in that knee, inner thigh. You can push a little bit into that, excuse me guys, into that heel. That way if you're tight, you're going to feel it down right by your knee joint. Try to stay on your back. You can see I'm lifting a little bit. My right, again, as we always say, my right side is worse. But try to stay square on your back. Try not to roll into that stretch. Take a breath, inhale, sweep the leg back up to the sky, kind of reset, make sure that that leg didn't wander up, keep it down. Take it out, adductor. And then you want to drop your left knee now out to the side. So you want to angle out that left knee, tighten up through that pelvic bowl, and hold it. Probably one of my most favorite stretches. Try to stay on your back again. Breathe. Take a nice inhale. You're going to pull your left knee up first before you lift up that leg. Straighten out the left leg. Anchor that heel. Take your left hand, switch over. Drop your right hand to the mat. Make sure that leg stays down at 90 before you bring it across. Hold. Piriformis. Now you can stay here if this is enough for you today, or we're going to bend that knee again to 90 degrees, and then you're going to pull that knee up. So you're going to get right in through that glute and hip. It's different for everybody. Everyone's different tightness in different areas. So if you're not feeling this and it doesn't feel like you're doing anything, just go back to what we were doing. You can be here. Or if you feel like this is a better stretch for you, you can be here. So everyone's different. Make sure you're staying, again, try to stay on your back. Take a nice breath. If that knee was bent, you're going to just drop your knee back down, kick out that leg, and then bring it back up to the sky. Take those straps, one in each hand. Make sure your knee is soft. Don't lock out that knee joint. Starting again at neutral. Make sure your leg is back over the top of your hip. This is 0. This is your starting position. We're going to take that first initial stretch. So you're just going to gently pull the foot towards the head until you feel that initial stretch in your hamstring. You're going to stay right there. This is position number 1. Hold. Let that muscle fatigue. Now release a little tension. Don't go back to 0. Take a breath. Inhale. You want to exhale. Draw the foot towards the head. Go past where you just were. Hold. Hold. You're going to re-stretch it again. Your leg's going to probably shake. That's not a problem. Hold. Release that little bit of tension. Take that breath again. Inhale. Exhale, last time. Hopefully that leg gets past where you just were. Hold. Eccentric, concentric stretching. Hold, hold, hold. You can see my leg is shaking. That's okay. And slowly let it release. You never want to kind of snap back. Just let it release. Drop your foot out. And stretch out both legs. Nice work today, guys. We're going to take both arms over the top of the head and just take a nice long stretch, wall to wall. Try not to arch or scrunch up. You want to really drop your back into that mat. Gently point your toes. Nice length. Breathe into your belly. ahead and shrug those shoulders up to your ears, and then just let them release. Shoulders shrug to the ears, and release. Shoulders shrug, and release it down. You can just bring those hands back down by your side. Step your feet back up onto that mat. Gathering both knees this time, drawing the knees into your chest. Just gently stretch and open your low back. Close your eyes. Take that little rock side to side. Come back to center. Just separate the knees ever so slightly, and this time go ahead and circle those ankles. Stop and reverse. Come back to center. You're going to float those feet down to your mat. Holding it here. Now I know we don't have our neck balls, but I'm just going to have you lay your hands down by your side. And I'm having you just kind of sweep your head back. So you want to place the back of the head onto that mat, creating extension in your neck. Chin is pointing up to that sky. Shoulders are relaxed. You can even kind of inch them down a little bit towards your feet and then drop your shoulders back. Try to bring your toes and your knees together. You want to have your pelvis in slightly at tilt so that your low back is pressed to the mat. You're going to take some nice deep breaths. So as you inhale through that nose, move the air down into the back of that throat, down into the chest, and down into the belly. Just bring your head back into neutral spine. Take those legs out long. And then just separate your ankles to the corners of your mat. You can turn your hands over. You can leave them down. You can even rest them on your belly, wherever you're comfortable. Just try to hold yourself perfectly still. Come back to your breath. Focus on that breath. Now focus on moving the air all the way down. And you want to feel that belly rise and fall. Place your feet on the edges of your mat. Slide your feet just a little bit closer to you. And then just allow those knees to flow side to side. And just let them go where they're going to go. Try not to hold any tension. Take them one more each way. Drop your knees towards me. Turn onto your side. If you have that block nearby, go ahead and just place that between, or your book, between your knees. I'm just going to hold you here just for a moment. Just go ahead and lay back off of that shoulder. You can see how it's different when you're looking at somebody, how having that block between your knees makes such a difference with your hip alignment. If I take the block out, and we can see how awful that is for the hip. As you put the block back in, it keeps that pelvis, keeps your back in alignment. Hold it here just for a few more moments. You can have your eyes closed. And then when you're ready, you can open the eyes. Put a hand down by your side, that way you can just gently start to bring your way up, nice and slow. And again, I'm going to face you guys, so I'm going to put my block here. Have a seat. I'm just going to grab my bells. Sitting up nice and tall, just take some shoulders back. Take those hands over one by one and just soften out through your palms. Close your eyes. Inhale, exhale. And then just go ahead and lift. You're just going to bring those hands up and out to your sides. Pull your hands together nice and wide. Take your thumbs to the center of your forehead. Just hold it here. Sitting up nice and tall. Stay tall and stacked in your spine. Here, close just for another moment. Go ahead and open those eyes. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. Keep working on it. I'll keep working out my kinks, but hopefully it went well for you guys. We'll get through this. Miss you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.